And welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB server. Well, it's been, well, I guess I could call it an interesting couple of days. Let's see, this is Friday, so, let's see, this is Friday. Yeah, Friday, so Wednesday, I was on here trying to do some stuff, and actually I wanted to get doing some recording because with changing the server over to the FTB Ultimate pack, it made for a lot of changes, not the least of which was the inclusion of Mistcraft. And I wanted to get into making and exploring some Mistcraft ages, and I started trying to do that, and I ran into some crashes. I don't know if it crashed the server or crashed my client. I think at least once the server crashed, and that was a problem. And so, you know, I was trying to do random ages and so on so that I could find out places where I could explore and find collections of actual pages for use in Mistcraft, because it's changed from the way it used to be. You now actually have to find pages with the symbols on them, and there's a number of different places you can do that, but it still sometimes involves a little bit of random age creation, and that is apparently a little problematic just yet. And so I ended up not doing that, and along the way there was something a little bit cool. You see, I was talking about this problem and the fact that I was starting to get a lot of lag, which I later found out and confirmed was actually a problem with my ISP. They just didn't want to admit it. But the lag was getting worse and worse, and it just reached a point where I decided there was no way I was going to be able to do any exploring Mistcraft ages or put myself in any situation where there would be hostiles potentially around, or dangerous situations, which can happen in Mistcraft ages, especially random ones that are almost guaranteed to have various instabilities and dangerous things going on. And so, anyway, Biffa was nice enough, however. He told me that I could go ahead and copy the pages that he had collected. He collected something like 40 pages or so, 40-some pages. And all I needed to do was to provide the paper and ink to do it with, because he was a little short on those things. And so I made up a bunch of paper, I made up a bunch of ink bottles, and I went over there and I copied the pages that he had collected. And as a token of my appreciation, and because I just generally think the thing is absolutely cool as all get out, I left him a portable hull as a token of appreciation for that. And apparently he rather enjoyed the hull, because, you know, these things are really very handy. I like them a lot. You know, it's hard to not get used to just being able to make an opening anytime you need one, and so on. And so the next day I was on there, and he gave me something. And that was extremely cool of him, a portal gun. And so, thank you very much, Biffa. That was extremely cool of you. And I decided that with the portal gun, I could at least do a little bit of exploring. You see, I had, a few days ago, I had gone out exploring, looking for a village, you may recall. And I did actually find one. As a matter of fact, I eventually found a total of 3. And along the way, I found beehives, and I put in extra waypoints to mark the position of those beehives so that I could go back later and get all the bees and whatnot, because I was going to be getting into this bee thing. And so I went in and I collected all the bees. I used the portal gun. I set down a portal here, and then I went out looking for bees, or at least that's eventually what I did. But first I had, again, lag was really bad. I was hesitant to even go outside. It was so bad. I mean, seriously, I would like right click on a chest like right now, only instead of opening immediately, it would open anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 or even 3 minutes later. That was that bad of a lag. I had ping times in excess of 5,000. It was amazing. And so, anyway, while I was messing around trying to do something, I got looking around. Well, okay, to be totally honest, one of the reasons I had decided not to do anything is that I was popping into my nether portal. You see, I've made a linking book here to the nether side of my portal out there, so that I could get to it quicker than having to go run out there to that portal and so on. And I popped in there, and some zombie had walked through the portal, and I got killed right away. And I then had a nice little adventure where I had 5 or 6 more occasions of getting killed, trying to go back in there and get my stuff back, because this zombie was wearing my nano armor and wielding my sword, and all my stuff was laying on the floor around him, and I wanted to set everything back. Well, eventually I did get everything back. I got the zombie, I got everything back, everything was cool. But in the process, I lost my jetpacks. Both of them. So I come back here, and I got started. I got into NEI, and I did this to look up the jetpack because it's been a while. And I was going to do this, and then I saw these over here. Advanced electric jetpack. This is something new with, I guess it's an upgrade somewhere. Either IC2 or one of the add-ons or something. I don't even know what mod these come from. But I saw this, and I just had to look at this. They hold 1,000,000 EU. I don't know if this is GregTech or what, but it's extremely cool. I then immediately proceeded to spend the next 2 hours. Remember, I had horrible lag, which made combat kind of interesting because I would just basically step into the portal to go through and immediately start swinging with a sword, hoping that I hit something. Because, well, isn't that special? I just crashed. Alright, I'm back. I don't know what that was all about. I wasn't even doing anything. Anyway, so I eventually got everything back and so on, and I got looking up to replace the jetpacks, and I found these new ones, and I spent 2 hours sludging through the lag, just staying in here in the shop where it was comparatively safe, making up this thing, the advanced electric jetpack. And you see this one here, it even shows on screen in the upper left corner that it's turned on. You activate this with the Gravifly key. Well, that's what it's called in the control set, the Gravifly key. It's to control the gravity, the gravity chest plate's flying controls. So F turns it, that's what it defaults to. F turns it off and on. And you see it also displays whether it's in hover mode and the energy level. And this one's in need of recharging, so I'm going to go ahead and recharge this thing. But it's cool. After I got that done, things improved a little bit for a little while, and I did go around and I visited all the bee waypoints, and I found a bunch more bees in addition to that, and I collected all the bees I could possibly find. And before I left, I had set up this ender pouch. This pouch, it's called sorting. I renamed it the anvil. And what this does is the input chest in the sorting machine down below, I replaced it with an ender chest that is colored the red, white, black that this pouch is colored. I synced up this pouch with it, and now anytime I'm out and about, I gather up some stuff. I need to ditch the thing, so all I need to do is just open up this ender pouch and drop stuff into it. And it automatically goes into the sorting chest down below. And that was nice and handy. So, anyway, things have been progressing. Let me go ahead and sleep through tonight, get some daylight. And I came up with a pretty good number of bees. You see how handy that is? You gotta love it. So, anyway, found a bunch of bees, and I got a couple of apiarist chests here. They hold a lot of bees. Well, 5 pages each. Now this chest is the bees that I had that my quarry dug up. You know, I ran the quarry like 3 times, and in that I came up with lots of these rocky princesses and drones, and a few odds and ends of some of the others. And this is the bees that I picked up while I was out and about yesterday, during the part of the time where the lag was eased off enough to gather some stuff up. And I've got a decent amount of stuff coming from these bees. Matter of fact, I've got a bunch of things here that need to be processed. I'm just going to throw them in the centrifuge and let them go. And I've begun working on some breeding here. And like right for example, right here, I've got I've worked out a way of kind of abbreviating things on the signs. This is Rocky, Bees, Purebred, Nocturnal, Cave, and Flyer. And so I'm just taking these things and I'm just breeding them through, getting the product from them. I'm trying to work up to having a purebred line of each of the base types of bees that you start out with. And you see, this one, I don't have a sign on it because, let's see, I need to get these things out of here. You notice these drones don't stack. Drones normally stack if they're the same. These are not the same, so let's get out the beealyzer here. And check these things out. Take the princess, drop it up there. Okay, this one, it's a Rocky Meadows. See, now that it's been through the beealyzer, that information shows up on the tooltip. They have long life and so on. And a recessive trait in this group is 3x offspring, which I would like to see that become a dominant, and so on. And you see this one, the active traits right here, it is not nocturnal or flyer or a cave thing. It even shows how long it's been bred in captivity, and so forth. And I believe that's rocky combs and honeycombs as possible products that it can put out. This is possible mutations involved with it, and it's only showing up ones that I've actually come up with. I wish that it would provide a tooltip, because I don't necessarily recognize what these bees are by looking at it, except for this one. That is an ebony, and this one is a valiant. And I'm pretty sure that one's a rocky, but I'm not sure about the rest of these. Anyway, let's see. I need to get some more honey, because the honey drops, the beealyzer requires a honey drop for each bee that you put into it. Alright, and this is another one with this 3x as a inactive trait. So, okay. This one's a rocky. What was this other one? A rocky. Alright. And what's this one? Rocky Meadows. Alright, so here, that's what I'm going to do. Going to take the Rocky Meadows hybrid with the Rocky Meadows drone. And I was originally hoping to breed up Meadows bees with that. Of course, I've since found some in the trip out getting more bees. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these in there into the chest. Okay, this is a Rocky Meadows and Common Meadows I bred together. common princess, common drone. That's a good thing, because common is not one that I found when I was out and about. So we got common meadows here, and this one is common, common. Alright, so it's definitely going to be these two I breed together. I'll look at this one just for giggles to see what it has. And this is a rocky common. Alright, so I'm going to put this back in here, and this is common meadows. And I'm just going to learn how to type one day. Alright, so this is a pair of common meadows bred together, and we'll see what we get when that queen dies off. And this is Valiant Purebred, 2X Offspring, Nocturnal, and Cave. And that's all these guys are, is purebred Valiant. And I've just been cycling them back to build up a supply of drones so that I can eventually have plenty of them, because they will be needed in breeding and whatnot later. This is ebony bees. These are also purebred. Well, wait a minute. These drones don't stack, so let's check them out. Alright, there's the ebony princess. Long life, 2X offspring. Okay. Nocturnal, flyer, and cave. Pretty good temperature and humidity tolerance. That's great. Alright, now this one. 2X. Looks pretty much the same as the princess. How about this one? Inactive flowers. Honeycombs, and I don't even know. Again, this is a place where tooltips would be handy. Alright. Flowers, rock. Rock type flowers, and this one had a mutation. This one, okay, so we'll take this one and breed it with the princess and see if we can get a variety of ebony that will consider flowers to be flowers. Now, it's interesting that the ones that want rock for flowers are not complaining, but then again, of course, I think, yeah, there is actually rock nearby here. Oh, hello, creeper. Yeah. Creeper, I got something for you. You gotta love that wand of lightning. That is cool. Especially since one of the enchanted books I was able to come up with when I was working with the XP farm the last time I went to spawn, I came up with an enchanted book. A couple of them had charging. So this thing will actually recharge now, where normally it wouldn't. Okay, so we've got our ebony purebreds here, and this was Valiant Purebred with 1X offspring. And I want to increase the number of offspring if possible. So let's see. No, you don't do it with the hull, you do it with the beelizer. Jeez. Alright. Okay, this one has 2X offspring now, this princess. And 1X here, and 2X as this inactive. Alright, just going to go ahead and continue this line. Continue breeding that line. And see if we can get some bees there, some valiants to put out more offspring. Okay, what do we got the most of? Honeycombs. Okay, put those in the centrifuge. Get them processing. And I've been just basically kind of going very basic here. I found some online guides that are helping out a little bit. Right now, the main thing that I'm trying to do is to just basically get some start going with the bees. Get all of the basic starting lines of bees bred up to where I have plenty of purebred bees in each line, and then take that and go from there to start breeding into more advanced lines beyond into the there's one of them there that's actually gotten me a start on it, the common. And from the common you can go to cultivated, and somewhere in there you find diligent and unweary and some others and whatnot. And I'm working on basically continuing this process of breeding up all of the basic ones, and then trying to breed up as many of the drones of each kind as possible. And actually, I want to see if I can't breed through more princesses and queens of each kind. And I can do that by basically all these rocky princesses. I'm going to consider those kind of a starting place. If I can take Rocky Princess and run the breeding all the way through until it gets to be the kind of thing that I want, and then have a good supply of princesses and drones for each kind of bee that I come across. And it's going to be slow going, I know, but we're working on it. All right, let's just cycle that through. That one's got time to go. It's not nocturnal, so it has to be daytime for that one to work. I need to get into some of the machines and extra bees that allow you to isolate certain traits from the bees and actually do a bit of genetic engineering with them, and isolate, say for example, the nocturnal trait. Isolate the nocturnal trait in a serum, and then put that serum into another queen, and end up with a line that didn't used to be nocturnal, but it is now. I haven't seen some of these combs before. I found, parched comb, for example. I found that out while I was picking up bees in the desert. So what are we getting from parched combs? Okay, we're getting wax and honey. Any other specialties coming along? Well, if they are, they're going to be rare, so nothing just yet. Okay, mossy combs. What are we getting from mossy combs? The cocoa combs, I know. You get wax and cocoa beans and an occasional honey drop. Nothing special there. Frozen comb. You get those from the wintry bees. Well, I'm not worried about this. You know, get a bunch of wax and a bunch of honey drop. Oh, get a snowball from a comb. Oh boy. That's interesting. I wonder what that could be useful for. I have to figure that out. Okay, and at some point I'm going to end up having to, some point soon, I'm going to have to end up automating a lot of this. Especially the ones, well, like for example this one. I'm just breeding this one up, and eventually I'm going to work on getting it to produce, see if I can get it bred up to produce multiple offspring so that I can actually build up a stock of the drones and do that. Okay. Ebony comb. I get ebony drop. Crystalline pollen? Wow. Okay. And of course, honeycombs make honey. Rocky combs. I don't remember what I get off. Gunpowder. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think what I'm going to be doing real soon is getting some of these machines from Extra Bees built up. There's I can't remember what they all are, but there's machines that allow you to isolate certain traits, and like excess bees can even be rendered down into liquid DNA, which is necessary for some of the other steps in editing their genetics, so to speak, and coming up with bees that have the specific exact traits that you want. And oh yeah, the eggs. There's a funny story behind the eggs. You see, I got out a couple of shards that I had laying around because I decided that it would be kind of nice if I took one of these shards and started working on making up a tier 5 shard so that I could set up a XP farm around here, just simply because it would be handy, and so on. And in some cases the drops might even be useful. And so I was working on that, and I took aim at a zombie, and I missed the zombie. I completely missed the zombie. He moved at just the right point, and there was a burst of lag or something. I don't know. I don't even care. And what I ended up doing was I hit a chicken. So I have a soul shard for a chicken. And so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to build a small little facility, and I'm going to start the chickens growing in it. And I'm going to farm up the chickens. I'm going to grow up, and then I'm going to kill 1,024 chickens, and I'm going to make a tier 5 chicken spawner. Because I ended up, like I said, I managed to miss the zombie, hit the chicken, and end up with a chicken spawner, a chicken shard. You know what's really aggravating? I did it twice. I've got another one sitting down there. Chicken shard. And I'm really kind of trying to figure out what it is exactly that I'm going to do with a chicken shard. Oy. It is so ridiculous. Anyway, I also made some progress on the tree farm down here. Now, the wheat farm is pretty much running automatically. Well, then neither one of them running right now because I'm out of power. The lava power supply is, I need to move my lava pump in the nether, and I'll be doing that later. But this system right here, I finally got this thing sorted out and working good with the tree farms, because the original setup that I had with the Buildcraft piping just was not working very well at all. And so I ended up, okay, this is the chest where everything comes into. Stuff that comes out of the logger, stuff, the sand and whatnot that comes out of the arboretum, all ends up in here, including piping that I have down there from that item tesseract that is receiving stuff for farm supply, where humus comes in, or hummus, or whatever it's called. Anyway, I was having a hard time getting everything sent to the right places and still being able to actually open the chest with using, at one point I was using 3 filters, and there was no way to even open the chest. It was so blocked off. So I tore it all out, and I put in a sorting machine. Send saplings down the green path, which puts them right there, and excess would go there, although I'm going to change that, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then I took humus and sent that down the blue, which takes it through here and into the bottom of the arboretum, which puts it in the right place. That took some trial and error to figure out. And then everything else, oak, sand, apples, rubber tree saplings, go down white. And basically I could have left this line empty and just did this, anything you don't know about, send down white. I should have done that, but anyway, so stuff going down white goes through here into the item tesseract and back. Now, I didn't even spot this until after I'd gotten the thing running, but when this is full of humus, the thing sends out a batch of stuff, when there is open spaces in there. The sorting machine starts sending out humus down that blue line. It comes in here, the machine filled up, and the extra, you know how red power pipes works, the extra would bounce back. And since it's not going to be allowed actually back into the sorting machine, it'll bounce between there, where it's supposed to go, and the sorting machine where it came from. And that's fine. And I was thinking, I was thinking originally that I was going to just go ahead and break this pipe off of here so that the same thing would happen here, but the problem is that the farm produces way more saplings than it needs, and so therefore I need the excess to go through here and into this chest to get pumped back into the warehouse, eventually into barrels. What I need to do next is to duplicate that system over there, and that's going to be after I get my lava pumps moved and get that going. Actually, I'm kind of thinking now that maybe what I could do is take these magmatic engines out, replace them with industrial steam engines, and then with the liquid tesseract, instead of moving lava, move steam. And that way I've got the whole thing running off of fuel, which I have a pretty good amount of. That tank is full right now with 2,000 buckets of fuel, and I still have some oil in the oil tank. It's getting low, which means the current well is going dry, but the fuel lasts pretty much quite a while. I could shut the oil source off, and this whole system here could probably run for several days on the fuel that's down there. In fact, I may do that. So all this here. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to turn that off and stop processing fuel for a while. And I'm going to let it go one whole day without processing any more oil into fuel to send into that tank. So right now it's at 2,000 buckets. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow and how much fuel it's using in one day. That'll be a good gauge of how important it is to keep the oil supply current. In any event, that's pretty much the update of what's been going on. And I have finally, just this morning, gotten good internet connection again, and it feels so good to actually be able to do stuff without having to just hide in the factory because it's too scary to go out, because you can't, when your lag is so bad that you do something and you don't see the result of it for 5 minutes, that's bad, because you get anywhere near hostiles and you can literally be killed before you even know it, 2 and 3 minutes before. And it's nice to actually be able to see things going on in real time. And by the way, here's another feature I like about these advanced jetpacks. You can go higher. With the default ones, you can only go 180 blocks or so up, and then they pretty much stop. And here I am at Y245. Look at this. Y equals 245. Freaking awesome. And of course, long fall boots for the win. Because that was a long fall. Alright, well, I think that's about it. I did take and run steam up there, and I've got an industrial steam engine there powering the machines in the B lab now. And I'm thinking at some point I'm going to have to expand this boiler room, expand it, rearrange it a little bit, put in a second boiler and more engines. Get away from the ground so I don't have to listen to the rain. And so on. And a big part of what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to start working on making some of the extra bees machines and start getting my bee breeding program a little bit into more high gear, and I'm hoping to have more of an update and be able to show some automation in the next episode, and not only just show it, but to actually explain the automation so that I can actually show how it's working and whatnot, and whatever bees I managed to breed up and how I've managed to do that, you know, which ones I combined with which other ones to get that, and so on. In the meantime, I know that I've gone over on the time for this one, so, well, it was kind of necessary though, because there was a lot of updating. It was in spite of lag making things painfully slow and horrifying. I mean, it was too slow to even consider recording because, well, nobody wants to watch me sit here and right click on a chest and wait 2 minutes or 3 minutes for it to open. I don't think anybody would have wanted that. And yes, I could have edited that out, but oh man, I would have had to edit that out 60, 70,000 times. I don't know how many times, but a lot. So, I'm going to get working on these bees and see if I can't start getting towards something productive. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.